For this part of the lesson, we're now going to edit curves on the dish we made for the ice cream earlier. There's a few things we need to take care of first. One is we're going to go over to our layers panel and we're going to hide the template layer. We no longer need to see the dotted lines or the letters around here. So we're going to turn that template layer off if yours is still on. And the second thing we're going to do is we're going to turn the smart guides on. If you followed my last video, you probably turned yours off. If you just did it from the book, maybe you already had your smart guides on. I'm checking here. I do see there's a check mark in front of smart guides, so it is already set in the on position. So now I'm going to edit the curves, and some of this we did earlier when we were working with using the pen tool, but so it's a little bit of review, but this is a real short little video for you to show you how to make some changes to this. Then we're going to go back to the ice cream and make a couple changes there. We want to round off the appearance of the corners that are on this part of the ice cream glass or dish. So we're going to go get our direct selection tool and we're going to select the point here and the point here at the same time. Now one way to do that would be to click on one and then shift click on the second one, or you can do this, which is taking my direct selection tool, stretching my mouse so that it will select any anchor points that fall within that area. So I'm trying to make sure I don't select a really large area, but a smaller area. And then I look and I see the only two anchor points that I have that are filled, they're solid, are those two. Those are the two that I'm going to affect a change to. Notice that once you do this, you'll see a little circle here with a dot in the center, and that's called the Live Corners widget. And when you have two anchor points selected at the same time, you can edit these, and one, if they're both selected, they will both edit even though you're only changing one of them. So I'm going to come over here on the right and I'm going to grab this and pull out a little bit, and I'm going to round off that corner. The book wants us to round it off to the amount of 0.2. So I'm going to round that off, and that's going to give me a more smooth appearance on my glass. It's going to look more real by having those corners rounded off. And I release my mouse. I'm done with that step. We're going to go to View and turn the smart guides off. We don't need them for the next part of this lesson. And I'm going to hit my Escape key, click on nothing so nothing is selected. Good time to do a save with my keyboard shortcut, Command S or Control S on a Windows computer. And now we're going to make a change to the ice cream. Now my ice cream layer's right over here. I can see that is showing on top of my ice cream artboard, I should say, or you can simply go to Artboard 2. Another way to do this, they have saved a view called ice cream. You can go to the View menu and go down and choose ice cream. It's going to bring your ice cream into view here. With my ice cream view, I am seeing those that template layer back turned on again. That was saved as part of the view. So that's okay. We don't really need to do a whole lot there, other than this will help you identify which part of the path you're going to modify. Here they just want to teach us how you can modify parts of the curve as we have learned before. We're going to go to the highest part of the curve of the ice cream and click on that arch shape that's up at the top. Find the anchor point that's up there. It's just about at point J, and we're going to grab that and pull it down a little bit so that it isn't quite as puffy on the top. Just a small amount, about like that. And then they want to teach us also that we could go modify the arc of the curve that's between point G and point H, and this time we're going to pull this one out. So I'm going to grab there and pull it out a little bit. And again, they're just simply trying to show us how you can edit your paths after you've created them. And we're doing this with the direct selection tool. So we've got our path selected, our in change now. We're going to deselect. You can click on nothing, or sometimes it's better, instead of clicking on nothing, to go to select and choose deselect. The reason that can be better is sometimes you might think you're clicking on nothing. In actuality, there could be, let's say, a white box back here that is you can't really even notice, and if you clicked on that you might select that by mistake. So a good way to do it is to select from the select menu, choose deselect, and you can use the keyboard shortcut if you want to learn that one. It's listed for you at the end of your pull down menu. So that's it for that little part of this mini video. I'm going to stop the recording now and then we'll go on to the next part.